Hey guys, we're back for the next video. Today I've got a few updates that I wanted to share with you on some recent positions that I opened today at market close or near market close. I wanted to first, of course, follow through with the daily tradition of going through the past plays, letting you know kind of what's going on with everything. First and foremost, I want to talk about Bitcoin. Very good day for Bitcoin, defying my expectations. I told everyone in the Discord I had closed my Ethereum in profit before it recovered today. I sold around 2180, but like a 3 to 5% profit, nothing special. My IBIT puts, I told my money team this that I have closed those at a 5% loss. I averaged down the previous day, sold on the dip today, so I kind of got out a little bit unscathed. No big deal. Wasn't a large position. I'm gonna let crypto go for a while, not for a while, for a day. I want to see what happens tomorrow with the CPI data. This obviously, what I'm winking at you and saying is that my conviction as a bear is going down. Because you can see, we are right on resistance. It's almost as if we're going to break above it. I will tell you this: these are, though, despite what I'm saying, and to contradict myself here, these are the best times to short because this is when people think it's a breakout. And then, of course, we close lower by the end of the week and produce an upper wick, and then we reject the next week. Not saying that's going to happen. I mean, that's still my bear case, but looking less and less likely every day, apparently. But this is the moment where I start to go, But yeah, Bitcoin is looking good right now. I'm not going to kid the bulls. So they are probably, they're feasting while I'm in famine for sure. I've managed to kind of get away shorting crypto quite successfully despite all of this kind of reversal stuff going on. I've only taken like two losses, like one Ethereum put earlier last week, and then the one here on IBIT. So it's been okay overall. I also just want to do an update on silver. Oh, this is frustrating. I mean, it's tanking yesterday in the futures market. I can't get out of my options, and it reverses the next day. It's just very frustrating. I mean, that's the one risk with options, right? I would have been back in the money by overnight, and then it just recovered. So I'm pretty disappointed. We'll see what happens. I might have to call it a day on this. I'm down 13% on these options, so I would say basically what I've told my money team is if we get above $77, I think that's maybe 78, I would hold out to there, but that's it. If we get above, CPI is going to affect the metals. I can guarantee you that. The PCE data didn't do much because it was in line with expectations. I was surprised how tame the metals moved today to that data, but CPI is definitely going to cause a stir. So if it comes in really hot, the metals are absolutely going to dump. Though the market's already expecting hot CPI, so it's gonna have to be really bad for the market to sell off tomorrow. Um, yeah, the market is looking strong. Let's give it its due. But that's silver right now. I'm sort of like iffy on this trade. Obviously, I would have taken profit if I could have sold last night. Couldn't do that. So I'm gonna probably give it maybe 1 or 2 more days, and then I might have to move on. AVGO as well. Again, it wasn't the best week for me, honestly. AVGO. I mean, we had a good enough couple weeks to be happy, but AVGO broke resistance. And what did I say, guys? Respect resistance until proven otherwise, and it proved otherwise. So it is what it is. The only thing I regret about the AVGO trade is not taking it, but maybe getting in a little early. I probably should have waited just to get till it got up here. I thought it would hang more in the middle of the channel. It popped up. So if I had gotten in here and then it closed above today, I would have been out at a very small loss. Instead, I took like a 15% loss, which I'm not too happy about. But it is what it is. We've done a great job shorting the market the last little while. I got to slow down maybe a little bit with going too heavy in these shorts because the market has been bullish, no doubt about it. Granted, I want to talk about some shorts that I did open today because the risk reward just makes bloody sense. I'm going to talk about two, maybe three in particular tickers that I have open shorts on. The first one, you're going to hate me, is Intel. I opened a put position, a starting position, mind you, about a half position of my total position size on Intel, and I'm sure everyone is their jaw just dropped when they heard that. Guys, that's usually the best time to short something is when people think you're nuts. Um, I get it. The volume looks really good. We've got expansion candles. This could break this trend line, but at the same time, we're 73 on the weekly RSI. We are literally at this trend line that has been respected since the lows back in really the March sell off of last year. I literally had a buy alert. It went off today, guys, and I listened to when my buy alerts go off to long or short something, I listen to those. They tend to be pretty accurate. I thought there's no way Intel's going to get to 62, but I saw that's where my trend line was, so I set the alert and I hit it. So I got in at literally exactly $62. So I'm actually in the money a little on this trade right now. I will tell you with Intel, I know I'm sure everyone's super bullish. I'm not saying Intel's going back to $20. But you can see here, the last time we got up to the top of the trend line, we retraced all the way back to $40. This entry I'm so pissed about. I had a buy alert here originally at $40 to get in, and I must have deleted it. And whatever happened, I wasn't alerted by my trading view. And then that was the exact bottom. I literally could have gone into a full position that day, and it would have been all up. So I'm pretty disappointed about that. But nonetheless, we had a 25% correction the last time we hit this trend line. So that would imply if Intel, and how long did that take? It took January 20th to basically just over 2 months. So if we got to, end of June, let's say, that's about maybe $46 on Intel. And I want to be clear, I'm a buyer if Intel gets down there. It's always been a buy. Every time it's been a bull case to go. When people were saying, "Oh my god, look how much it's pulled back." Rip. Now it's the opposite. Holy crap, this thing's unstoppable. Dump. That is just how the market typically works, guys. I understand AVGO, but AVGO wasn't in peak euphoria, right? AVGO at $410 was peak euphoria, and then look where it went. So I like Intel. I like shorting it up here. I'm not saying I'm going to make money on this, but I put money into the trade. So we'll see what happens. I would say if we went down to $46, that would be look at that, a 25% correction. Even if the market keeps rallying, stocks like this that have been bidded up the last 2 weeks and outperformed, eventually you get profit taking. So I would expect it won't be a straight line, but we might do something similar that we did last time. We retrace halfway down the candle to 55. We go up. We go lower, maybe to the bottom of the candle. And we kind of just sort of zigzag our way down. It might take a few months. I don't know if I'll stick around that long. If I see 50% in my options, these are June options, so they're pretty leveraged. If I see 50%, I'm out. I don't think I would hold all the way down here. You'd say why if you're that confident it would go to 46? Because decay, and it could zigzag a lot. I don't know how much volatility there's going to be till we get to my ultimate price target. And there's no guarantee the target will be hit. I mean, look at Amazon. I thought it would go a lot lower, and it had a catalyst, so it's just been strong. It got up to my target of 232, but we're not going to talk about Amazon today. So that's the first short. I like it. Let's look at the daily chart. We went exactly into my level today and wicked off the trend line. You can see there's the little baby wick. I'm respecting resistance at this point. If we open tomorrow above here, I will add more to the position. My full position will go in the next day. And then I'm going to set a 10% stop loss. That's how I operate. Then I know my max downside. It ain't going to gap up here. It's already gone. It's already gapped up. There's no... so much is priced in. I mean, we're 74 on the daily RSI. Every time we've gone up to the mid 70s, we've had a pullback. No bearish divergence though. Intel looks very strong. This is a company that I would definitely go long in, guys, if we get back down here. And I was waiting for literally months to get this level, and my freaking buy alerts weren't set. So very disappointed in myself there. It is what it is. There's always another trade. That's the first one. I've gone short. So I opened a June 2026, I believe, $55 strike against Intel. I do believe this will be a profitable trade. Maybe not tomorrow, but by next week, I would expect to be in the money. Secondly, I actually went short on Wolf. Okay, Terra Wolf. I know it's been an outperformer. There's no dispute there. Excuse me. But I was saying to my money team literally when we were here, guys, I have my eyes on Wolf. I'm to get pretty aggressive on a short as well because there's two reasons. One, it actually exceeded. I thought, okay, maybe I'll inch in at 17, and then we kind of blew through that. I said, okay, let's wait for the trend line, and then we got it today. My buy alerts went off to go short. I got in at 1940, literally short of the top of the day. I'm already up 8%. So I might even put my stop loss in at break even. I'm sort of debating it. I don't know if I want to keep adding to the position. But I will tell you, I think I like Wolf, shorting Wolf more than Intel for this reason. Tell me, guys, what do you see on this chart? It's not actually on the chart. It's in the oscillator. What do we got here? We've got a high on the RSI, a new all-time high, our new 52-week high, and a lower high. That's bearish divergence. That's significant bearish divergence, guys. Look at that. We've been making this sort of ascending channel for the last few months on the weekly chart. And you can see price, or the RSI, has been making lower highs. SoFi did literally the exact same thing last year, and I was screaming for people to get out of that position because SoFi, I was convinced, was going to go under $20, and now it's dead money now. So I think this is going to be a really successful trade for me. I am curious if I'm going to get the top of this. I mean, 1950 is a pretty significant move on Wolf. So we'll see what happens. Excuse me. Yeah, so overall, I'm looking at that. And one thing I also want to point out is this is not a bullish pattern. A lot of traders would say that's a bull flag. They're wrong. Bull flags do this, as we should know. They go up, which this does have, but they flag to the downside. And then they break higher. This is actually an ascending channel. The probabilities shift to actually this acting as a reversal pattern. And I will use a case study, Uber. I don't know how many times I heard people saying, I'm buying Uber at $90. I said they were crazy. I closed all my longs up around $90. I never actually shorted it very successfully. It was really choppy. But over time, I mean, if I had done what I did with Wolf, which is short up at resistance here, even with all the chop, it was in the money a few months later. So you had this uptrend, rising channel, weakening buying momentum. We broke, we retraced, and then now we're down at $70. And Uber is also dead money now. So, you know, just because a stock is strong today or for the last few weeks doesn't mean it will stay that way. Smart money will rotate. And Wolf is on my radar for one of those because I'll tell you right now, institutions are unloading this. I don't care that Cantor Fitzgerald says it's going to $30. That's usually a sell signal. I've seen this happen. The price targets come out being raised, and that's literally at the peak of the price action. I've seen that happen so many times. So I like Wolf. I like being short it. I think I'm going to do well. We'll see what happens. I'm coming out before the move occurs, so you'll know if I lose money on this trade or not. And where would I hold to? I don't know yet. Depends on how the market's behaving, but you can see the bottom of this channel is around $13 to $14. I think we'll get down there in time. If this breaks, if this does what Uber did, I mean, this could go easily back down. We've got support here at $9. That'd be like a 2x on those options. So, you know, guys, I'm not guaranteeing this is a win, but what I am guaranteeing is the risk to reward is sweet. Because I'm basically going to exit this trade if we get it over, probably, maybe even where my stop loss is. I almost can't lose on this trade now from where I entered. And I entered, again, guys, the day that everyone's bullish and like puts are the last thing on their mind, that's the day you get into, that's the day to be a bear. I'm just telling you. The day to be a bear is not a week and a half ago where everyone's like, is it too late to short Palantir? Is it too late to short Amazon? Is it too late to short AVGO? Guys, I'm telling you, you got to do everything the opposite of the herd. You just, generally, that's what works, right? I'm not saying it's perfect, but I find when I follow the herd, I lose money. So Wolf, I like the bearish divergence. The volume is going down. I'm not a big volume guy, but I do look at it especially on the longer time frames. So Wolf, yeah, those are the two. This isn't going to be a very long video. I want to just give you the sort of the briefing here. I also shorted Cipher today. I shorted it literally at the top. I said, wait for the trend line to get hit. It went up to $17 roughly. I got in around $16.80. So I'm in the money on this trade. I don't know. I probably will keep my stop loss at break even. I kind of went into a decent sized position. So do I really want to average down if this goes against me? I don't think so, guys. So you got to know when you're in your full position. That's when you got to set your stop loss. And ideally at your break even, so you don't lose money. Lock it in, right? And then if price goes lower, then you raise your stop loss, right? So you're in profit. That's how swing trading works, right? Don't be a hog. And yeah, I mean, Cipher's sort of doing, I mean, there's two arguments to be made here. The bulls will say this is a falling wedge pattern. They might be right, but we have to break resistance to validate the falling wedge pattern. The falling wedge patterns are downward consolidating, lower lows, lower highs that eventually reverse. That is possible. I'm willing to grant that as a potential bull case. But again, we don't have bearish divergence here like Wolf, really. It doesn't look like it. But every time Cipher has been up here in the last couple months, it's been a good short. Even if it's bullish and it's going to break out, if we go to the middle of the channel, that's $14, and then I'll cover if the market wants to go back to all-time highs. And yeah, $12 is the downside. That's kind of what I'm looking at. We've got the 50-week moving average around 12. So I think that would be really the most I would be willing to hold this position on. The market has been resilient. I mean, I got to give it respect. I thought it would roll over more. It might still roll over, but we've broken a lot of resistance. So, you know, I'm only getting into these because these have run hot. They've come up too fast, too quick. And I think there's a bit of a nice little mean reversion play, a little counter trend play that might be decent, right? Even if the market keeps going higher. So that's what I'm looking at right now. I opened shorts today. I know longs because the market is overcooked in my opinion. Even if tomorrow is up, which there's a good chance we might still be green, the market might go higher. The risk to reward is just like disappeared. I mean, I'm seeing the FOMO already in the Discord. Like I'm scared I missed out. We're gonna go to all-time highs. I never make money going long at those moments, guys. It's not, or I make very little. I make way more upside potential with going short. So if you think I'm crazy for going short, that's the only reason I would buy more. And I'm not trying to like throw shade on anyone. I just would say like emotionally, even if I get a little nervous, that's usually a good sign. Okay, it's time to start scaling in my puts. You want to play against what the media is saying, what's being pushed on YouTube. I just find so often it's the opposite. And even if it's a short-term pullback, I mean, you short euphoria, you buy the fear, and then you just rinse and repeat. So that's the update today, guys. I hope that was useful. This is a quick video. It's, you know, a little bit of education, but I did want to just keep you abreast on what I'm shorting right now. I'm still shorting the market. It's getting harder for people to stomach shorting, which is usually actually a sign of a potential reversal coming in the market. We'll see what happens. I alerted my money team that I entered Cipher and Wolf today and Intel. So I'm being transparent about this. I'm putting it on the line, and we'll see what happens. Tomorrow is going to be an interesting day in the market. We've got the CPI data. If Bitcoin gets over 73,000, I'm pretty much gonna. I think I'm gonna cry uncle on this one because it's been strong. I mean, Ethereum still below resistance, mind you. And then in closing, I will briefly talk about oil to cap off that trade because you know we've been on top of it. Our team did really well with oil today. We took our calls up to $102. We got stopped out around 99.50, 100. There's a little pullback in the day. I said in my video yesterday, don't be surprised if we retest 95, classic TA. We did that actually later in the day. I thought it would be in the morning. We pulled back to 95. We got in around 96 on some call options again. We rode those up for about a 5 to 10% profit. We covered. And that's it. I'm not going to hold oil really at this point too much overnight in case it collapses out of this parallel. It's getting to the point where it's like potentially ready to roll over. But I will certainly day trade it above this as support for sure until it breaks. So that's the update for now, guys. I hope that was useful for you. But that's on my radar right now. I got Wolf, I got Cipher, I got Intel. I'm shorting into the grain on that. And we'll see what happens over the next couple days. The market's going to be explosive, and I'd like to start talking about some calls that I'll be taking on soon. I'm actually eyeing potentially going into a Snowflake or Reddit. They're beaten down, maybe even Palantir. It's had a really harsh pullback. I mean, that's the thing I should have been shorting this week. Unfortunately, I got out of my puts, and then it went back up, and I didn't get the best entry on that. But Stocks with Josh, who is I work with in his Discord, had a great call on Palantir. They made 300% on their options, so congrats to that. In the meantime, I'm gonna close it down for now, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks.